Hi there, my name is Lungi. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new on here, you are welcome. To the returning subscribers, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Please do not leave without subscribing if you have not. It's a new week, it's a new video. Well, this week's video is a little bit different. It's not a vlog, but it's a story time. It's not something new because I have told this story time before. Am I gonna be telling story times? I don't know. Okay, so let's get into it without wasting any more of your time. Also, if you want to see how I've achieved this look, do stay tuned. And yeah, I'll see you guys on my next one. Keep watching and enjoy. So everything that I'm gonna be using is gonna be in the description box. I'm not gonna mention everything as I go because I want to focus on what I'm going to be talking about, but everything is going to be in the description box below. I'm not going to put any links. I'm just going to list everything that I've used. So if you see anything you like and you want to purchase it for yourself, it's going to be in the description box. This lip gloss right here is my favorite. I got it from one small business owner. I don't know what her brand is called because she does a whole lot of different things. She does individual lashes, she does brow threading and tinting, she sells silk bonnets. Talk about like a hustler. So her lip gloss is called Lip Drip, but she doesn't have like an Instagram that is separately for her lip glosses, so I don't know what I'm gonna say about that. But yeah, this is by far my favorite lip gloss and I got it from her. So yeah, also my skin is already prepped. I have on my skin right now, I've cleansed, used a toner. I do have a recent skincare video. Am I gonna link it? Maybe I'm gonna link it. So if you want to check out what I do for my skincare, it's also gonna be there. But basically I have cleansed, toned, and I'm still trying the Skin Republic's 3000 serum, the metric cell serum. I'm still trying that out, so I also have that on, and a daily moisturizer and some sunscreen. So I'm not gonna put on a primer. I'm just gonna go in with my foundation. So without rambling any more further, so guys, I think I was 28, 29 when I decided, you know what, I am leaving my parents' house. I'm leaving my parents' house. I don't have anything. I just had my clothes, literally. I just took a box or a luggage bag filled with my clothes and I was out. So my mom was literally worried, like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna survive? You don't have a job, you know? But I tried convincing her. It took me some time to convince my mom that I'm actually leaving the house. I want to go out there and hustle, you know, for myself and whatever. And also by this time I had already had a child from when I was 19, 20. So my mom said, okay, I am not really like 100% happy with the decision that you're making, but I guess I have to support it. And then one thing that's not gonna happen, you're not gonna take this child of yours with you. He's gonna stay behind. I'm gonna take care of him. And yeah, when you are ready financially, then you can be helping me, you know. But anyways, like his father had always been there to take care of him. So that was not really, you know, an issue. So I'm gonna just go back a little bit to tell you guys like how I grew up or what sort of family do I come from. So my mom and dad, are just like a regular. They were a regular. I'm gonna say were because if you are old in this channel, or if you're a day one, you should know already by now that both my parents have passed away, bless their souls. So my mom passed away in 2019 December, and my dad passed away in January, no, in February 2020. So they passed away right after one another. So they were just, you know, normal people. Both of them were not educated, you know, but they both were trying their best to take good care of us, me and my siblings. I have one sister and I had 3 brothers, and now I have 2 brothers because the other one also passed away, bless his soul. So now it's only my big brother, my big sister, and my younger brother, and our kids. So yeah, my mom has always been that person that hustles, you know, tries her best to meet my dad halfway in providing for us and making sure that we never go to bed hungry, you know. So they tried their best. My mom did literally anything that could give her money. Not anything like that, but yeah, she tried. For most of the time that I can remember, she was like a domestic worker, you know. And my dad was, my dad worked in the mines before I was born, apparently. And then he moved to Cape Town. And then later on, my mom came to join him. And then by that time, I was the last born. So I was the first one to come and stay with them in Cape Town. I think I was like about 5, 6. I don't really remember much because I was like very young. So we came to Cape Town, and then my dad started working in, where did he work? In the, well, that's not important. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is that they tried so hard, like they tried their best to make sure that we didn't go we didn't go to bed hungry, and we had pretty much everything that we needed, you know. I'm not talking about luxury life and all that, like just the basic stuff, you know. Send us to school. So I went to public schools. So don't come to my channel looking for some accents and like fluent English and whatever because most of what I know I have taught myself. So I went to public schools in PHILLIPI because that's where I grew up. I am from PHILLIPI in Cape Town, a small township, a very dangerous township in PHILLIPI. So now fast forward, and I've went to public schools my entire life, okay. So fast forward to when I told my mom I wanted to move out. I didn't have anything, as I have mentioned before. I only had a suitcase, a very big suitcase that had like clothes and shoes, and that's it. So I had told my mom that, then she was asking me, where are you gonna stay? Who are you gonna stay with? How are you gonna survive this and that, you know? So I had to convince her. I told her that I was gonna stay with my friends whom I trusted, you know. And she was like, at the end of the day, she had to let me go because I was not a minor. I was, you know, I was grown. I was a grown person in my late 20s. By that time, I knew what I thought, I knew what I wanted. But I still had some growing to do. So, how did this begin that I wanted to move to Parklands? At first, I had acquired my driver's license, and then this friend that I had at that point in my life said to me, okay, you just passed your license. She saw on my WhatsApp story, I think, and she was like, okay, since you just passed your license, let me take you out to News Cafe to celebrate. So I was like, okay, no problem. I didn't even know where News Cafe was, or Blowback at that time, because I was a small girl from location. So she said, okay, I'm gonna come and pick you up on, I think it was Thursday. She said she was gonna come and pick me up so we can go to News Cafe and celebrate my birthday. Not my birthday, my driver's license. So I said, okay, you know, it was just an excuse for us to drink, nothing much. She was like my friend then, we used to drink together, but she was like familiar with all this Blowberg, Parkland side. So I agreed. She came to pick me up, and then we went to Blowberg. It was nice, you know, a different side of the world that I was not familiar with. Because I'm not gonna lie, I did go out, you know. I was a person that, like, I've always liked going out. But I was not really familiar with the Parkland side and everything. So she was like, okay, I'm gonna take you to News Cafe, let's go and celebrate. Okay, we went. I was excited, you know, I was the new face in this side. You know, everyone was like, who's this girl? Who's this beautiful yellow girl? This and that, you know, Nigerians everywhere, you know. It was fun. We drank, we had fun. And I continued hanging out with her, like coming to Parklands and everything. And then I met other girls, like mostly girls from PE, and we became friends. Like, we became more closer than I was with the girl that actually introduced me to them. So I met these two girls that were very close with each other, or very close to each other, and they were both from Port Elizabeth. So we became friends, and then I continued coming to Parklands. Now sometimes I was not coming with this friend of mine that took me to celebrate my license. I would come and meet the other girls that I met through her, you know, because she worked and she was not available most of the time, and I was not working, I was not doing anything at that moment. So I would come to Parklands, we'd have fun, you know, drink and all that. You know how it goes. If anyone knows Parklands, anyone that is watching here, you know Parklands, you know how it goes. So we'd drink, we'd have fun, you know, and all that. So one of these girls, one that was closest to me, said, how about you come to live with us? You know, they had found a new place in Parklands, on Parklands Main Road. It was a 3-bedroom house, but 1 bedroom had like a couple, a foreign couple living in there, and then one other girl was gonna take 1 room, and then me and the other one that was closest to me, we were gonna take the smaller room and share. You know, the other one couldn't share because she had a boyfriend, and then her boyfriend came over like most of the nights, you know, so she was not sharing hers. But me and the other one that was closest to me, we shared the room. I'm just letting this concealer set before I blend it out. So yeah, we were sharing a room. At the beginning, we didn't even have a bed. We only had a base that one guy decided, you know, you guys, you can take this base I'm not using, you know. So we had a base for a very long time. We didn't have a mattress. We only had a base and like some pillows. So we would put pillows on the base if we had to sleep in the house, because like, you know how the hustle goes, we were always out and about, you know. No judgment, you guys. Like I have a very colorful past, so I was very like out and about, you know, having fun. So whenever we had to sleep in the house, we slept in the base, like on the base. We'd put pillows and sometimes just clothes on the base, and then we slept like that. So this went on, and I was like, oh my gosh, no, this is not on. Hey, like I need to find something to do, because I'm always like, I've always been this person that worked, you know, like ever since I passed my matric, I started working, you know. So I've always been this person that enjoyed working for myself, you know. Also because like my parents were not in a place where they could like provide everything that I wanted. So at an early age, I started working for myself so that I can give myself the things that I wanted. I always liked nice things, like, you know, clothes, recent clothes and everything, bags, you know how it goes, hair and all those things. And then I thought, if I want those, I have to get them for myself, because there's no way my parents are going to do that for me. And I've got other siblings as well, you know. So I've always worked for myself. So I decided, you know what, instead of just gallivanting the streets of Parklands, let me just find something to do. So I started looking for a job. I got a job at INGLOT as a makeup artist. I got a job at INGLOT as a makeup artist, and I started working there. So while I was working for INGLOT, I also got a learnership at Red and Yellow in Observatory, Mowbray, that side. I got a learnership at Red and Yellow. It was a advertising company. And then I was busy with INGLOT and the learnership. So yeah, that went on and on and on, and then my life became a little bit better now because I have an income and I'm busy. I'm not always on the street. Okay, so I blended out the concealer, and this is how it looks. So I first went in with this to blend out the lighter concealer, and then I went in with my brush to just kind of make sure that everything is blended together. So yeah, as I was saying, after some time of working, I started saving money. Hey, I started saving money until I could, because when I was working for INGLOT, I was a part-timer, you know, because clearly I needed some more time for the learnership. So I was a part-timer at INGLOT and doing the learnership on the side. And then as time went by, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna quit the learnership, because, you know, sometimes like I feel like the lecturers were not taking it seriously. Sometimes they were there, sometimes they were not. No one cared if you came or you didn't, you know. And also I felt like I was out of placement. I feel like education or studying is just not my thing. I'm a creative, you know. I'm not meant for boardrooms and stuff, unless it's my business one day. But I'm a creative, guys, so it's okay for me not to be a school person, you know. If ever I decide to go back to school now, it would be maybe to do something that has to do with beauty still, because that is like my passion till I die, you know. So I quit the learnership. I let go of the learnership, and then I was still working for INGLOT. But now they refused to make me permanent because they told me that, okay, you are a self-taught makeup artist, you don't have a qualification, so we cannot make you permanent. So I was like, these people, you know. So I decided, you know what, I'm not going to be sour about that. I'm going to save up some money and maybe go to a makeup school to get a certificate. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to look for a permanent, like a full-time job. So that's exactly what I did. I found this makeup school called Head to Toe. It was in Milnerton, not far from where I stayed. So I enrolled myself, paid for the full-time course. I think it was about like 30K. It was a 3 months full-time course. They gave me a kit that contained everything from MAC and INGLOT and everything. So this is so annoying, sorry. So I now stopped working for INGLOT because number one, I was not happy with the fact that they didn't want to make me permanent, because there were girls in the store that were not qualified makeup artists, but they were permanent, like they had like full hours. So I felt like, you know, they were bullshitting me. I quit whatsoever and went to the beauty school, not the beauty school, the makeup school. And then I got my my certificate. But before I could get my certificate, they could see that I'm already, like, I already know everything pretty much. I just needed the paper that says, okay, you're a qualified makeup artist, because I thought that, okay, like, if I want to be a full-time makeup artist, I need this, because, like, look, these people didn't want to make me permanent because of this paper. So I was like, okay, if you want to follow this path, you will need to be a qualified makeup artist. But I was like self-taught already, like I know everything. So before I could finish my course, they gave me an opportunity to be like working for the brand called Catrice and Essence. So they had activations or like promotions in different Discam and Clicks and like different places, man. So they gave me a kit, and then like every Saturday and Sunday they would tell me, okay, this Saturday you are going to Shimmy Beach, this Saturday you are going to Somerset, this Saturday you are going there, there's going to be a function, you'll just set up, and then like you'll be touching up people's faces, nothing hectic. And they were paying me for that. But like Monday to Friday, I was going for the makeup school, you know, my classes. So that was nice, because also I had that income, but I was also still hustling on the side. And by that time, I also had like this boyfriend that was also taking care of me, you know, making sure that my transport, like I had a driver, he made sure that my driver was outside my class every day when I'm done, you know, like I had a driver that took me everywhere that he was paying, you know. So, and he was also happy at the fact that I decided to do something. I decided to invest in myself, you know, instead of just taking my money and buying clothes and all those things. So yeah, I did that. So by this time I was no longer living with that friend of mine, you know. When I started working, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go and get my own, like I'm gonna go and rent my own room. I was not gonna get, like, I was not at a place where I could afford my own apartment. So I decided, you know what, instead of us sharing a room, I am going to go and get my own room, friend, you know. So I got myself a bed and I took my stuff and I left. But we didn't have any fallout, you know. And she understood, because we were hardly even in that house. We were always out and about, man, you know, hustling and everything. So I told her, friend, I'm moving out. I have found my own place, which was not far, like very far from where we were living. It was also still on the Parklands main road, Levivia. It's just opposite McDonald's on Parklands main road. If you know Parklands, you should know where this is. So I found a place there. It was also like a foreign couple that lived there. So they gave me a room. It was a 2 beds. I took one room, and then they were living in the bigger one, obviously. So at this point now, I have my own money. I'm trying, you know. I could send money home, like not like send money home, because you know it's still in Cape Town. My home was still in Cape Town. You know, my home is still in Cape Town. My parents were living in Cape Town, guys. So I still went home, like, you know, every once in a while. If you know me, you should know this. Like, I always, no matter how far I live, I have to make time and go home, especially then, because like my son did not live with me. He lived with my mom. I was not worried about his well-being, because I mean, it's my mom, you know. He was very safe with her. So yeah, I still went home, you know. And now life started to look better for me, because I was now exposed to a whole lot of things: how to hustle for yourself, how to build a better life for yourself, because all these things I didn't know, and I don't think I would have known had I stayed in PHILLIPI and not even go and expose myself to a life of hustling and everything. Because look, if you know PHILLIPI, or you have any idea of how life is in the townships, like, everyone there is all about drinking, you know. Everyone there is all about, where are we getting alcohol next, who's getting paid today on the 15th. Everyone is waiting on that one person, you know. And I always thought, no, this is not the life that I want for myself. Like, this is not it for me. So I've never been that person that, you know, hangs out in the local spots. You know, I've always been that person that will, okay, I'll go out, I'll go to the shop, like in my street in PHILLIPI. I would go to the shop, get myself a bottle of Nedabek Baron, and go to my room, you know, in the house, and chill, you know, play some music. I had a privilege of having my own room, even though my parents were not well off or rich or whatever, you know. But I did have a privilege of having my own room, you know, a decent home that is safe and secure, you know. So I would go to the store in the neighborhood, get myself a bottle of Baron, go into my room, drink, and then maybe around 10-11 at night, I would call a driver to come and pick me up. There were no Ubers then, but there were like cabs, you know. I would call a cab, maybe a cab that had brought me the last time. I would take the driver's number and then tell him that, okay, maybe next week, you know, I will need you. So I would call that person and see if they can come and pick me up. Some were scared to come to PHILLIPI because it's always been that dangerous place, but some would risk it, you know. And sometimes I would ask the guys that are going for stuff, like that are driving staff transport, because they usually leave PHILLIPI around 10-11. So I'd ask them, okay, when we leave for stuff tonight, please come and pick me up, and you can drop me in town. So I was always that person that, like, if I want to go out, it's town for me, because I've always been open to meeting, you know, new people. I don't care if you're from Malawi, Uganda, or whatever, you know. I've always been that person that is open to meeting new people, and I've always been open to meeting people that are even above my standard of living so that I can be inspired, you know, because I've always dreamt of having like nice things, of living a good life, you know. I come from nothing. I come from, yeah, I come from pretty much nothing. And I had promised myself that, you know, one day I must make something out of my life. You know, I've been thinking of how to speak about this, and I've been telling myself, no one cares about your struggles until you make it. Maybe let me wait, you know, and share this story when I've made it. But I don't care. I'm gonna make it, and I've got like 1,000,001 stories to tell you guys. So I decided, let me tell you anyways. So yeah, I've always been that person that is not gonna hang out like with people that are in my level, you know, because I want inspiration. I want to be inspired, man. So I've always been that person that's not gonna sit in the corner and wait, you know. So yeah, I forgot to put the blush, because usually I use the red lipstick as blush, but I use that, like, if I want to use that, I have to apply it before setting my under eye, because if I apply it now, it's not gonna blend too well. Should I try it? Okay, no, I'm gonna skip that. I'll just use a powder blush. So yeah, you guys, I lived in Levivia in that tiny room, but also like I was hardly there, because at this point, like, I did have someone, as I mentioned, so I was always at his house, you know. And then we broke up, but I was still, and then I went back into the streets hustling. And by this time, I think I was no longer working, because, you know, when you're in the streets, you don't have the time to say, okay, I'm not going out because I have work tomorrow. So like, my life was too fast, you know. I got introduced to money, like lots of money. You know how Nigerians move now. So I got introduced to money, and like, that mentality now of working when you could make so much money at a very short period of time without even having to lift anything, and you have to be available. So I was like, okay, now screw work. I'm not saying, you guys, like, you should stop working and look for this lifestyle. No, I'm not advising that to any young girl out there, but that's what happened to me. So I was exposed to like quickest ways of making money, you know. And at this point, I was not working, and I was living my life, you know. Money was coming in, you know, like, things were just falling into place, man, you know. I could buy my child like PlayStation, I could buy him like this and that, I could do things at home, you know, make my mom's life easier and all those things. And then, okay, I'm gonna go in with my powder blush. So then, guys, as time went by, I met some guy, you know. By this time, like, my reputation was just fucked up, because I was living this life of not caring, you know. I was living this life of not caring, and yeah, I was just like, if you talk about young and wild and free, you're talking about me and the life that I was living then. And like, guys, Parklands can get you carried away, you know. It can get you carried away because everything is just at arm's reach, you know. The life is too fast, you know. People are drinking every day. There's those brunches, you know. Girls are out for breakfast, girls are out for lunch, girls are out for dinner, girls are out for clubbing, you know. Girls are out for pool parties, girls are out for house parties and all those things. So any young girl can get carried away easily, and I was one of those that got carried away. But thank God, my life got restored, you know, my life changed. I managed to turn my life around and everything and live a decent life. So then I met this guy at the midst of it, like in the middle of it all. I met this guy. But that's a story for another day of how I met him, because the guy that I'm talking about is the guy that I'm with now, the father of my children. I've got 3 kids, so he's the father of my 2 kids. He's also Nigerian. So I met him at the midst of it all, you know. But that's a story for another day. Please let me know in the comment section if you want to find out how I met my man. And yeah, so I met him, and now he was okay. What was I doing at the time I met him? I think I was doing some work. I was doing some work. I can't really remember. But anyways, you guys, I met him, and then he was like in my life 24/7 from the time that we met. He was in my life 24/7, and now I was hardly in my house, you know, always at his house, and he was the one paying my rent. Guys, the blush cannot be enough, okay? It literally disappears into your skin, so it may look too much now, but it's gonna look fine in the end. So he was the one paying for my rent, and I think after a few months of meeting him, he was like, dude, you're always in my house, you know, and no one sleeps in your house, so how about instead of paying 2 rents, how about you move in with me? And this was like literally, let's say 2 months of meeting him. So he was like, how about I stop wasting money on paying your rent, because you are never at your house but mine. Come and live with me, and then we'll take it from there. And at this point I was like, oh my gosh, I've never lived with any guy before, you know. I spoke to my mom and everything. Like, obviously I had told her that I've met this guy and whatever, so now I had to tell her, this guy, mom, that I told you about, like, he wants me to move in with him and whatever. And then my mom's reaction was, well, it's your decision, but you know, well, I'm not gonna decide for you. Do what you want, but you know, you guys are not married and whatever. You know, it's not a good thing moving in with a guy that has not married you and whatsoever. But then it's up to you. So I did move in with him very early in the relationship. So we met in a club, moved in within 2 months of dating, and been living together since then. You know, we now have 2 kids, and the rest is history. So if anyone tells you you can never meet anyone in the club that's going to take you serious, and if anyone tells you you can't meet someone and move in with them tomorrow, it's not going to work, it's not going to last. This is me, like almost 6 years down the line, and we are still going strong, okay? Don't let anyone ever tell you that it's not gonna last, this, that. The final look. I'm not going anywhere, by the way. But I feel like I look so pretty. Maybe I can convince someone to take me out for what's the time now? Maybe I can convince someone to take me out for dinner. But yeah, this is how I look. The final look. The hair is from BELLAROZA. I also like this lip combo, by the way. And these earrings I got from ZARA. I got my eyelashes from MIMIQ. It's a Chinese store in the in the mall in Canal Walk. They were about, I think, 35 rands. And I got this dress from Yellowsub. So yeah, you guys, please do not forget to comment down below if you want to hear how I met my man. I'm joking, you guys. So if you really want to know how I met my man and everything, please comment down below. And also please do drop a cute little comment about my story, how you can relate, or how can you relate to the story. And yeah, just drop a positive comment, anything. I would really appreciate that. Please, I would really like to get my engagement higher, not just likes, but I would really appreciate any comment. Thank you so much for making it this far, and I will see you on the next one. If you have not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Please, let's reach that 1,000 subscribers, and then we can take it from there. Okay, thank you so much, you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Love you.